I'm Cody Meyer, and I am a Republican.
I'm Trisha Trinidad, and I'm a Democrat. I agree with a lot of progressive socialist views because I really sympathize with a lot of people that are maybe looking for more freedom and choice in terms of abortion and making sure that everybody has the same opportunities.
I mean, I'm against abortion. I do support less government, and I support conservative economics, and I am against political correctness, and that's where I am. I grew up in a Republican family, and I mean, as a teen, I have been looking at both sides because it's important to understand both sides. And looking at both sides, I have found that the right it's for me.
I would say I'm a Democrat because I believe that there needs to be, I guess, a level of open-mindedness. Cautious.
SJWs, social justice warriors.
Traditional.
Everybody's equal.
I guess respectful.
I'm a socialist.
I'm really willing because I think that's an important part of democracy is being able to work with people of your opposing party. Because if you surrounded yourself with people that thought the same as you, then you would never really learn anything.
I'm 100% willing, more like 200% willing. Political parties shouldn't define who you work with or anything of the sort.
I guess politics doesn't really come up in a lot of casual conversations, and I think when it does, the natural tendency is with the people you hang out with is to be with like-minded people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I guess I'm not presented with the opportunity to do this that very often.
Mm-hmm. As for me, I mean, the political discussion comes up once in a while. I mean, you're right.
Yeah.
You don't actually talk to people about politics because you shouldn't, because there's always the steps. Yeah. Any political discussion is usually always with the opposite person.
I mean, I hear a lot of talk about SJW and trigger warnings, and there's a yeah. I mean, I guess I had to bring that up at some point. There's a lot of stereotypes around that with my party. For me, I would kind of say that was almost a good thing because that's kind of pushing me to be a bit more reasonable, just so I don't embody that crazy person that always tries to push their values on someone else.
I mean, you have a cluster of words that I've constantly read, especially this last year. So there's sexist, bigot, racist, homophobic. I've lost the other ones, but that's a big stereotype about the right that I hear quite a bit. I hear that racists, we're the traditional South, and that we still follow traditions of the 1600s kind of thing, but that doesn't fly. But that's not, yeah. But that's the stuff I hear sometimes.
I guess if you could ask maybe someone from my party to I guess change any of their problematic behavior, I don't know, what would you say?
What I sometimes notice about the left is that they like to take things very quickly as offenses. It doesn't matter if it's for them or for someone else or for a minority or something. Mm-hmm. Sometimes things are said and that's what they are, and just take it at surface level, and there's no need to add layers and layers of interpretation or opinion, and you just take something as it is, and it doesn't necessarily have to hurt someone's feelings. It's just kind of there. What do you think of the Republican administration currently, or just a Republican administration?
Maybe in Congress in general, I wish that there was a bit more diversity, and that I think the biggest complaint that I have is when people that are making very important decisions aren't engrossed in the communities that they're serving.
Yeah, I mean, living in Washington as a conservative, it's definitely, from my perspective, it's very easy to see the other side because that's all you see, whether it's media or just people, and on my part, it's actually very helpful for me because I'm able to form opinions, and some things on the right I see like, oh, maybe that's not exactly as good as maybe the opinion of the left. So it's I can see a balance in there.
I think as a country as a whole, like we should look at this more as a collaborative thing, because people of the opposite party, I totally think that they're here to help you come to like a better decision. But we always look at it like a competition, and we always look at the opposite party as if like, here's the guy that I need to get through if I want to get what I want done.
And I also think, especially at Inglemoor, one thing to help political polarization is to, in classrooms, present an honest opinion of the other side. History classrooms, some teachers make sly jokes about the right sometimes, or sly jokes about the left, but those over time build up and they formulate opinions, and then you can tell the political side of your history teacher based on how they lecture and how they teach, because they'll be like, oh, this person's the worst president, oh, this person's the best president because this. So it's kind of, well, yes, it's polarized and everyone's entitled to teaching in their own style. It's good to get just an honest perspective of both.
Yeah, totally. I think especially because your teachers have like such a big impact on, you know, the opinions that you're surrounded with, because other than media and, you know, maybe if you have the initiative to look into news articles, they're like a big portion of, you know, what's going to form your opinion. In the past, it was really easy for me to like get angry at the opposite party just because, you know, maybe I was surrounded by a lot of these opinions of people who were, you know, angry, and I sided with them and I like sympathized with them. And like partly I still agree, but partly I was kind of swayed to be more like against the opposite party.
I mean, just having honest conversations are sometimes the best things that can happen.
Yeah.
And not jump into conclusions, which is numero uno on my list of
yeah, totally.
pet peeves, when people start to conclude things that they don't actually know. It was a good experience. I talk with the opposite political party every day, so it's not something new, but it's really nice to get just a human's perspective and not some media-tainted explanation about the opposite side. And it's just good to see students discussing something logically and with a calm mind.
He was really reasonable and he was really respectful, and I don't know, I think it felt like talking to another human, which is really nice.
I mean, we're a lot more similar than people give credit to. I mean, we are both humans. We both have our own political views, and one is not necessarily right or wrong, but in our own minds they are. But it's just good to know that someone is level-headed.
I think that we forget that we have more in common with each other than we do differences. Like both the left and the right party get attacked for stereotypes and for the loudest people and the most obnoxious people in our party, and we all have to like wear that sign when we say I'm a Democrat, I'm a Republican. I think it definitely makes me more hopeful because, you know, probably more people are like Cody than like out in the world than are that, you know, straw man of a like racist bigot.
Well, I think cooperation between parties is entirely possible. I mean, it's vital to what America is. My initial presumptions of a liberal feeling victimized for whatever I had to say as a Republican was wrong, because they're in the end they're just like me. They have political views, and we're here to learn from each side.